Hello everyone, welcome to the spoken tutorial which is more of an update tutorial and not a full-length video. Someone has pointed out to me that in my register script I need some kind of check to note if the user has been registered or not by the username that they specify. Let us go back to our form which is here. Here you can type your full name, you can choose a username and a password. I have had these values here before. Let us get rid of them for now. But what we want is when we are choosing the username, for example, let's say I am registering with the username Alex. In the database, we can see here that the username Alex already exists. So what we will do is check the existence of the username. If the username already exists, we are not going to let the user register because we don't want a double username. If I were to register here, let me put the password in and choose the username as Alex. The username Alex is already in the database. Let's change this for namesake and click register. I have been successfully registered. Let us look inside our database. We can see that we have two usernames with Alex. Now this causes problems while logging in. The first occurrence of name, this one here will be logged in and this one will be ignored. So this person really will never be able to log in into the database. So let's just delete this. You need to create some kind of check to see if the username already exists. This is incredibly easy. There are more than one method for doing it. But I am going for the simplest and probably the most effective way which is going to work. The first thing I want to do is take my code to connect to my database. Selecting my database, I want to take this up to just where the submit button is checked. So this is just connecting to the database. I am inside here. Then under here I can start my code to check my username. Now you can't put your check anywhere. For simplicity, I am just going to put it here and kill the rest of the script. If the username has been found, I can put it anywhere. Take care when you are using a full-length page in your website. The die function will cut off the rest of the code, so I don't recommend using this. I recommend casing the checks that you already have inside the next statement and not really to kill the script. But you will get the general idea here on how to work on what we are trying to do. We need to just type a query that specifies taking a record with a particular username. So I will say namecheck query here. I will call the variable namecheck and this will be a MySQL query. I will select username for simplicity. This is not going to select all the data. So I am selecting username from users since that's our table name here. I am going to say where username is equal to. If we look up here, username of the person that submits the form is in the variable name username. So we can just come down here and type username now. Now if we choose the name Alex, this would select every record in the database that has the username Alex and we can see there's one at the moment. Now if I were to specify in this case with only one record, if I were to specify the username as Dale, for example, no records will be returned. So therefore the username won't exist if no records will be returned. So we need a function to check how many records are returned. You can do this by creating a count variable. It's MySQL numRows. It just returns the amount of records or rows that are contained within your query, which is called namecheck. So let's just test this. I am going to echo out count and then kill the script. The rest of the code does not execute. Let's go back to register and I'll type my full name as Alex. Full name, then choose a username. I'm going to choose Dale. The password won't be checked, so we could skip that. But I will just put them here for the sake of it and click register. We see that we've got a value of 0 that is returned. That's because Dale is not actually in the database as a username. However, if I change this to Alex, that will be a small a. We have got some strip tags. The way to deal with case sensitivity as well is, so this is another pointer. When we are taking the username into account, what we are going to say string to lower here, just to make sure that this will always convert to lowercase. Next we are going to, let me find it. Click register. We can see that the value of 1 is returned. So the check that we were looking for is here. If this variable we are echoing out is not equal to 0, then we need to tell the user that the username is already registered. So here we can create a simple if statement and our block. Then we can say if our count does not equal to 0, meaning there's a record present under this condition where the username is already specified. Then we can just kill the script and say username already taken or any other message. Coming back here, let's refresh. We can choose Alex. Let me type in a password and click register. You can see that we have got username already taken error. If I was to type Dale and choose a new name and a password and click register, we can see that it has been successfully registered into the database because the username does not exist. So I will leave it at that. You can see that we have got a registered user in. Add a string to lower function, which is really useful to keep everything simple. Or you can just use a string to lower function in your if statement. However, to keep it simple, I would recommend that you convert all usernames into lowercase. You need to incorporate that into a login script as well. You need to convert whatever the user is typing into the login box to lowercase. I encourage you to play around with it. That's a good way to find some errors. Try them, but if you do need any help, please email me. Make sure you subscribe for updates. Thanks for watching. This is Arvind dubbing for the Spoken Tutorial project.